Hello, this is PC-Spacegoon here. Hang on a moment. I need to take something for this screen and put it over here. So, there we go. Alright. First off, I'd like to apologize for not doing a video for a very long while. Obviously, I've been away and then doing lots of other things, so I just didn't get around to it. So I'm finally doing it now, and hopefully we'll be doing more in the future, close together, so it's not like freaking a year apart or something along those lines. Ridiculous. I'd also like to apologize for the lighting in this room. We don't have any actual like flood lamps or anything like that. I mean, the last video, the lighting was pretty awful as well because I was doing it in the common room. No good lighting. It's just the ceiling lamp or whatever. So it's very bright back there and kind of dark up here. So hopefully we'll be able to rectify that problem in the future. But for right now, I don't think it's like crazy dark. If it is, let me know, I guess. If my eyes are darting around, that's because I'm reading notes. So, see, last several months, I mean, a lot of things have happened in the last several months. We picked up some members, we've lost a member, and obviously lots of just various things in-game and so forth like that we've been doing along with, like, YouTube and picking up some streaming and stuff like that, which I'll talk about in a minute. First off, though, I'd like to talk about MLG this last weekend. It was, once again, an amazing experience, and what makes it an amazing experience is being able to hang out with your friends and freaking watch StarCraft, you know. So, I mean, I'd like to thank everybody that showed up. I mean, and everybody that watched online, too. That always helps esports, obviously. So, but people that showed up here, we had Lloyd, we had Tavo, Arman showed up, Dart, one of our new members, was here. I was obviously there. Baldric was here. We had cameos by Sergeant L and his wife, Patient Zero, who's another one of our new members. Talking about her in a bit. Squidoku, and some real-life friends that some of them actually like stayed and watched pretty much the whole tournament. So very, very amazing. I'm very glad to have had that experience. Like I've noted before on like Facebook and so forth like that, it wasn't quite as high octane as Anaheim. Anaheim was just like fireworks constantly, but there were still some really, really good games in this MLG, so it was amazing. All right, talk for a moment here about the stream. We picked up a stream on Twitch TV. The URL is www.twitch.tv or www.twitch.tv, sorry, /PariahCast. Just one word, no caps. I'll link it down below so you guys don't have to go back and rewatch the video over and over again, try to remember exactly what it is. And we stream on there pretty much every day, that we're not doing something else like casting games for the YouTube or something like that. So come check us out and friend us on Facebook. Again, a link that I'll put down below for everyone to check out. Friend us on Facebook. You'll know when we're streaming, and I post all kinds of random stuff on there. So, like when we're doing tournaments or when other tournaments that you might want to watch are going on, you know, that sort of thing. Just general informative stuff. I'd like to apologize for the YouTube channel not having content for like the last month, which is absolutely ridiculous. I am sorry for that. Obviously, I've had to take on some full-time duties for a little while. So hopefully, excuse me. Hopefully, in the future here, we'll have more videos up, and usually at least something every week. I'm doing a lot more playing of StarCraft, like lots of dedication into playing StarCraft. So obviously the channel has suffered a little bit because of that. On the weekends, we're planning on running on Lloyd and I, and possibly some other members of Broadcast. We're planning on casting lots of games. So we'll have something to release throughout the week as we also stream and continue to up our game by playing it a heck of a lot. So there you go. Keep paying attention to the YouTube channel. It's not dead, just relaxing. So we'll get back to that. I'd also like to talk about once again, reading notes. I'd like to talk about our individual players now. First off, PC Lloyd. He was in a pretty big StarCraft slump after graduating high school and everything, he just kind of went nuts and decided to play every game under the sun, which there's nothing wrong with doing that because he just graduated high school, for Christ's sake. You're free to live your life now. So he's getting back into StarCraft 2 now, and he's living with a bunch of us other Prycast members at the moment, which is helping him. Obviously, living with me, I play tons of StarCraft, so whenever I'm on, I'm just like, hey, come play StarCraft with us. And he's like, all right, let's go do it. So he's getting back into StarCraft 2. He played a whole bunch of 1v1s, like the week he showed up here. Just an incredible amount. And we've been doing lots of 2v2s as well, just for fun. And obviously it helps with your mechanics and stuff too. So he's looking for a job at the moment so he can pay his rent. But if he gets back into StarCraft 2 with the amount of enthusiasm that he has had, then he'll be good to go. No worries there. Next up we have Tavo, who currently does not have a computer. He should have one by the end of September, so it's kind of cutting into his StarCrafting, not being able to actually play the game on anything. So he could move rocks around on a desk or something. This is the command center rock, and then you have little SCV rocks. You know, but it just doesn't work out the same. You know, you don't get the same experience. He's also switched to Zerg, so I guess that analogy doesn't work in a couple different ways. And he's going to be practicing very hard once he gets his computer. He's still in school, because he's not old enough to have graduated, obviously. And he also has a part-time job, so he's going to be working very hard in all aspects. And he's pretty much setting up a practice regimen for himself for playing StarCraft, which is incredibly awesome, and best of luck to him. He's one of our better players. I'm glad that he is dedicating himself. That's always a good thing. We have Arman up next, who's been practicing on and off. He's been working through high school, so he has the same problem as Tavo. He plays both StarCraft 2 and Team Fortress 2, and obviously if you were to put a ton of time into it, you could be like top-notch at both games, but because he hasn't had the time to put into both of them, he's still not obviously on. I mean, none of us are like pro-level gaming, you know, but he's kind of on the low end of the semi-pro field. You know, it's kind of flopping around there right now. So if he either goes one way or the other, StarCraft 2 or Team Fortress 2, he'll be really good at one of those games, but he's still practicing so he doesn't earthquakes. Still practicing so he doesn't lose his edge in either game, so when he has more time or when he decides which game to go with, he'll be good to go. You know, he won't have lost all of his edge and just have no idea how to play the game again. So next up we have Baldric, who also has kind of been in a StarCraft slump due to the fact that there were no other Terran players on our team, and that really cuts into his ability to theorycraft and, like, other than just going out and playing like lots and lots and lots of games, which he's also in high school, so he hasn't had the most time to just play a crap ton of games. And obviously it makes it easier when somebody else plays your race and you can actually like talk to somebody about it. I have this strategy. Do you think it'll work? Oh, go try it, I guess. You know, that sort of thing. I mean, it's always good to have a practice partner who's another race, but, you know, obviously makes it difficult, but due to something I'll be talking about later, hopefully that problem will be rectified. He's also going to school for programming, on top of going to the tech for programming, as well as being in high school. So he's kind of double dipping on the schooling side of things. So there you go. But if he decides that he wants to dedicate himself to playing, then he'll be good to. He should be doing pretty decently. I don't think with what he's doing right now, he'll have time to be like pro level, but he could still compete in some of the smaller tournaments and do quite well. So, Bebop Cola is currently at basic training for the Air Force. One of our best Zergs decided that he wanted to go and join our military, and for that I commend him. Obviously, I don't know anybody that would think that's a horrible thing to do. I mean, other than obviously people that are just worried about your health and well-being, but he's in the Air Force, so he'll be alright. Right. Okay, but he says he will be right back into StarCraft when he returns. I mean, he was very, very much so into StarCraft when I left, and he's very much so into StarCraft when I came back. So should be good to go. There'll likely be some downtime though. I know when I came back there was some downtime because I wasn't like right freaking like fist pumping right back into it. You get home and you have to reacclimate yourself to being a person. So you know, there's that. Squidoku has been working on a lot of her art. She does a series of art known as The Faceless World. She'll be writing a book about it at some point, and I definitely think people should check it out. I will put a link down below to her website so you can go look at her stuff there. She has a Facebook. I should be able to get a link for that as well. In any case, I'll be putting links to all that stuff, all the stuff that I think's pertinent down below, so you guys can go look at it. I mean, it's really cool stuff. You should definitely check it out. It's all India ink and pens. It's just great, and not like ballpoint pens. You know, like good pens. You know, the kind that you dip, that sort of thing. So very, very cool. Sorry, waving. I start waving and pointing. Sorry, somebody just like was walking into the room, and I didn't want them to be disturbing the filming, obviously. So Sergeant L has been holding down a full-time job, but he still practices in his off time, which is pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people, obviously, full-time would be like, I want to sit and watch television. I don't want to be thinking. I just want to chill. So definitely commend him for, in his off time, practicing and trying to keep with it. Obviously, when he gets more time, again, he's staying with the mechanics and everything like that, so he'll be able to take an upswing if he's able to practice more. So definitely a good thing. One of our new members, Dart, Dart, D-A-R-T, is working on his game mechanics at the moment. He's going to be a StarCraft 2 player. He's just, like I said, he's currently working on his game mechanics, watching lots of Day 9, trying to get his hands feet up, all that sort of thing, trying to figure out where his hotkeys are, you know, all the good stuff. But he is very dedicated to pretty much any game that he's ever played. I've known him for a long time, so once he gets into playing it, he should be rocking. So definitely good to see that. Always like to take on those new members, especially when they have that form of dedication. I mean, obviously we don't just take on any member. Like, oh, you're interested, you know, that sort of thing. Grab you right up. Doesn't really, not really very strong team building there if you just pick up any schmo. But he also is going to school for networking, and he is working as an intern as well. So he has a lot that he's doing. So when he has free time, he'll be working on StarCraft. Good stuff. All right, another new member of ours, Patient Zero. She's a Team Fortress 2, married to Sergeant L. Has been playing do a lot to our as a team low activity in Team Fortress at the moment. We've been doing lots of StarCraft, and obviously that's been taking up most of our time as a team. So she hasn't been playing quite as much. But I'm sure if we were taking upswing in Team Fortress 2, if all of us found a lot of extra time and were dedicating to playing StarCraft and Team Fortress, I'm sure she would get right back into it. But she is always she's a proponent of esports, you know, and that's always good. Always glad to have those people, and definitely she's a good medic. So if we ever, when the team goes back into playing more Team Fortress, she'll be right there with us. All right, Count Rockula, who is very much into Team Fortress 2. He plays as much as his time permits. He's currently holding a job and paying his own way through school, so he has lots of work there. Obviously, because of that, he hasn't been able to put a lot of. He's been able to put time into Team Fortress 2, but it's not as much time as he would like. And obviously it makes it hard to work around the schedule as far as tournaments and stuff are concerned. And he's one of our best players, so obviously it's hard to be like, yeah, let's go do a tournament, and we're just going to leave Count Rockula out of it because it's like, all right, we'll just take one of our best players and just be like, man, we don't need him. No, Heck no. So obviously that's one of the reasons why we've kind of been in a slump for Team Fortress, is because Rockula has been not able to play as much. And but very much props to him. He's working hard. He's working very hard. So keep on it. And that brings up to me. I'm back from basic training. It was a good time. Nice vacation. You know, all that stuff. I am now officially a Cavalry Scout, or a Dragoon, if you want to be, like, real, like, lore-like, I suppose. I don't know. History-like. Lore in real life is history. I'm currently in the National Guard. I was going to go active, but a bunch of things have made me decide to stay in Wisconsin and be part of the National Guard here, which still means that I have to train, I have to stay physically fit, and I get to go run around and sleep in the woods, you know, that sort of thing. So, good stuff. I've been putting in lots of hours into not Team Fortress 2, StarCraft 2, 6 to 8 hours a day, along with things like this, obviously, where I talk about StarCraft. I swapped from Protoss to Terran because I got sick of PvP. I got sick of 10-minute games where it's like 4-gate, not 4-gate, 4-gate, not 4-gate, you know, that sort of thing. And I got tired of trying to hold it off. I mean, I know there's a way to hold off 4 gates without 4-gating yourself and all that good stuff, but it still usually ends up in being like a 10-minute game. So I swapped to Terran because Terran has a lot of really good late-game stuff and lots of real fancy, fun, interesting things, lots of good tech flow and everything like that. So definitely glad to have made the swap. I'm working my way back up the ladder. I got knocked back down to Platinum, but I'm crawling my way because obviously having to learn new keyboard commands, how this race works at all, what's a strategy for this race, you know, things like that. I played Terran in the beta, but obviously tons of things have changed. Marauders equal good, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, 60 hours a day, running it on the stream, all that good stuff. So definitely check out the stream. I'll be on there, Lloyd will be on there. Any members that can get the streaming technology and the computer to run it will be streaming at various points, and obviously later we might separate the streams, stuff like that. So obviously I've been working hard, and I am hopefully going to bring myself up to that famed pro level and start doing more and more tournaments, and maybe you'll see me in MLG someday. Crazy. I know. Alright, I'm looking down at notes and stuff. Right. I guess that's it for the members. Oh wait, I didn't talk about Dirk Diggler. Oh, I totally missed that. Wow. It was on my notes and everything. I guess I'm pretty sure I didn't talk about him. So yeah, Dirk Diggler is the member that's been not dropped. He just is gone inactive. I'll put it that way. He's gone inactive because he got a really good job and went to Seattle. And now he is entrenching himself in that excellent job, and he is very, very dedicated to everything he does. So definitely, obviously at the moment doesn't have time to be playing lots and lots of video games. He may be back once he gets himself settled and everything like that. I mean, I'm not holding out tons of hope for that, but if he comes back, we'd love to have him. He's a very strong Zerg player, probably one of our best Zerg players, if not the best Zerg player on our team. Obviously, Bebop Cola had lots of Zerg strength as well, and they're both very dedicated. But Dirk Diggler played more 1v1s, so that made him stronger in that field. So, actually, he played lots of 1v1s. He was, like I said, he's dedicated to everything he does. That includes his video game age, which is definitely cool. So, alright. I guess that's it then. And if I talked about Dirk Diggler twice, I apologize. I don't know. Alright. Also, last thing I want to do before I'm out is I'm thinking about possibly this is if you guys don't recognize this is the original book that comes along with StarCraft, the original StarCraft, the 1998 version, and there's lots of really interesting stuff in here. We have there's storyline stuff here, like, oh look, it's the Zerg storyline, you know, that sort of thing. Like all the stuff that unless you own this book, you don't. I mean, you could look it up online, maybe. I don't know. Do people have this stuff posted? I don't know. So I'm thinking about reading like the backstory from the original StarCraft and stuff like that on here. And I also want to start to work on like creating pamphlets and stuff like that for people who don't understand esports, because I live in Wisconsin, and a lot of people here just don't get it. You say esports to them, and they're like, esports? What is this esport? Professional video gaming. Cool. That's interesting, I guess. Yeah. So I want to try to make like pamphlets or something that somebody that's never played StarCraft before could read it and at least understand how to watch it. Not how to play it necessarily, but at least be able to look at StarCraft and understand what's going on to at least a base extent, where you can be like, oh, that guy's winning, you know, because most people look at StarCraft if they've never played it before or been immersed in the culture and are just like, there's a lot of things going on. Look at all those things, you know, that sort. You know, so it's just ridiculous. So that's one of the things I want to work on. Probably one of those things I'll dedicate a weekend to or something like that. Probably Lloyd will help me out because he's awesome like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to talk about, and hopefully I'll be doing more of these that are close together in the future. So I will see you all later, and maybe some of you in game. All right, peace, everyone.